let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum 2.0, the merge, etc. Brief overview here, guys. Okay, so I've covered this a ton. We've talked about the merge, which is going to essentially be the portion of the upgrade to Ethereum that removes proof of work. So that is why we are concerned about it as miners, because that will affect our profitability with GPUs specifically, and ASICs if you do have Ethereum ASICs or ET hash, right? So this is the reason why we're concerned about the merge, not necessarily Ethereum 2.0. A huge misconception that keeps happening is the idea that the delay to Ethereum 2.0 means a delay to the merge or to the end of proof of work. This is not true. We have covered this a few months ago. We got clarification from the dev teams to basically in support of this, which is that, you know, the merge is still planned for that June 2022 launch. And as such, that's when proof of work mining should theoretically end by all accounts. And that's kind of where we are at. So what we are looking for specifically when we are looking for a delay to, you know, proof of stake essentially, and the continued mining with GPUs or ASICs on the network, is we're specifically looking at that merge time. Now, a sign of this merge time would be how long they delay the difficulty bomb. Without going into too much detail, the difficulty bomb was basically a ticker that was put into place by Ethereum devs to essentially say this is when we will move to proof of stake. What it is basically a piece of code, because code is law if we go all the way through, you know, the Ethereum history, which is at this point a joke, but code is law. They wanted to implement something into the code that forced them to move to proof of stake. So what they inputted into the code was a difficulty bomb. This difficulty bomb, as we know it, essentially would go off and then exponentially increase the difficulty on the network for miners to where it was unprofitable for miners, thereby making miners drop off, which would then of course reduce the security on the Ethereum network, which would then influence the devs to move quicker to, of course, implement a new consensus mechanism in the form of proof of stake. However, what we have seen happening over the past, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years at this point, is a constant delay of the difficulty bomb, thereby breaking the code is law that they always have upheld so adamantly in the past until, things didn't go their way, and then they just modified the code. That aside, yes, I am going to make those pokes, is that essentially they just kept delaying the bomb. They would go in, they'd create an EIP, which is an Ethereum change proposal, essentially. It's their version of change management, I suppose, is the best way to explain it. And improvement proposal is what it stands for, by the way. And which is funny because this isn't really an improvement, but they would go in with an EIP and they would delay the bomb. And then that would allow the proof of work consensus mechanism to continue on down the road. So what we're looking for specifically that we could take as evidence would be something that would say like, okay, the difficulty bomb is now delayed till X date, right? Or till Y date. Right now, it's just till June. So I believe it's in February the change takes place, and then in June, of course, it would go off. So the implementation of proof of stake needs to happen before June. Typically, we would see these bombs push out further and further and further, years ahead of time. But in this particular case, it's just going to be like those 4 months. Now, I got more messages from viewers, etc., saying, it looks like ETH 2.0 is delayed, so on and so forth. I have a quick article here on Binance.com just to give you guys an up-to-date of what Vitalik Buterin is saying. And I did go ahead and check that EIP for the difficulty bomb delay as well. That doesn't seem to have changed. So here you go. This is the, this is once again, can be a little confusing if you read it incorrectly. So Vitalik Buterin clarifies concerns about ETH 2.0 upgrade delays. Specifically, what we're talking about is ETH 2.0, not necessarily proof of work, but let's get into it. The Ethereum network is slated for its biggest upgrade in 2022 as it moves from proof of work mining consensus towards proof of stake. The official page for Ethereum 2.0 suggests the imminent move to proof of stake could take place by the second quarter of 2022. However, due to continuous delays since the beginning of the project, rumors started to circulate on the Chinese social media that ETH 2.0 upgrade might get delayed by another year. Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum network, took to WeChat, a popular Chinese social media platform, to clear the speculations. A popular WeChat group for Ethereum shared a screenshot of the article which hints at a possible year-long delay. Buterin responded in the group and said, "I didn't say that." End quote. The preparation for ETH 2.0 mainnet launch has begun as the developers begin the project launched behind the project launched the testnet in December for a mass trial. The Kintsugi testnet, I need to go learn how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, guys. The Kintsugi testnet went live on the 21st of December, which is being seen as the last major step for the migration to ETH 2.0. Over the past few months, client teams have been working tirelessly to implement a new set of merge milestones. Vitalik Buterin assures a timely launch. The ETH 2.0 is a massive project to make Ethereum scalable and as fast as many centralized payment processors such as Visa and MasterCard. The speculations about the delay in ETH 2.0 launch come from the history of delays in ETH 2.0. The first major step, i.e. launch of the beacon chain, went through a similar cycle. For the launch of the beacon chain, a certain number of ETH was required to be staked. And just before a week before launch, the amount of staked ETH was far from the target. However, Buterin himself staked millions to fulfill the target. Now with Buterin himself clearing the air about the possible delay, the crypto community can breathe a sigh of relief. The ETH 2.0 move is highly anticipated, and many expect the ETH price to reach new all-time highs in the run-up to the major upgrade. All right. So basically coming out and saying, don't worry about it. There's no delay at this point. So we have not only no evidence from, of course, the EIPs, right? Or specifically that difficulty bomb being delayed, and no evidence from talks from Vitalik Buterin. Now, we do need to bring up, I guess, the elephant in the room I think that I want to talk about here is going to be the fact that there was not enough ETH stake to support the beacon chain, and that Vitalik Buterin himself put millions into the stake to basically launch it. This should be a red flag in my humble opinion from an investment standpoint, due to the fact that, like, if you have a large project like that, usually, especially being the second largest cryptocurrency currently around, you would expect investors to be hopping all over the chance to stake ETH 2.0 if they actually believed in the proof of stake version of this chain. So just something I noticed, especially while reading this, it was on top of my head. I wanted to point that out for you guys. Am I going to be staking 32 ETH personally? Probably not. More than likely, no. It's a lot of money. If I look into the staking pools, there still seems to be issues there. I'm not down with it. But I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts and opinions on staking ETH, proof of the move to proof of stake, etc. down in the comment section below or in live chat, which we'll get to in a bit. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.